And now, I wish I could tell you, Quick rose up against the demon, defeated it in one fell swoop. But I'd be selling you a fairy tale. Because the truth is, as the blood drained out of Quick's nose and the life whined dark out of his veins, he desperately wanted to be more than he was, to be larger than life. But he wasn't. He wasn't even alive. And in that moment, hope died. And everything was lost. And who knows what might have happened had not, all of a sudden, as if out of the middle of nowhere, had not that girl from Berkeley with hair as red as a stoplight at twilight somehow found the strength to get up, to breathe, to speak, as Calliope stood up against the cleat boat, and as she said,
5, 6, 7, 8.
Drop a bomb on him. Yeah, you feel that? You feel it? And Calliope, she said, imagination was a thread. Imagine that my words were writ upon water and that they read. Imagine I spent most of my life wishing I was dead. So imagine it hadn't hurt quite so much to breathe instead. That in Iraq, my one true love's blood had run quite so red. Imagine, and I swear to you, well, the dead can live again. So imagine that every single thing you said was true. But imagine this, my love was too. I mean, sure, it was bitter and it was wide, but it was sweet and it was deep. And even if it never worked out, we tried. It mattered, and so do I. Because my name is Calliope, and whatever else you might have heard, this is my story. Calliope said, she said, well, when I died, my best friend from 6th grade came all the way back from college in Idaho just to say Kaddish over my casket. And my mother, she walked around the house in her nightgown, talking to herself like her mind had burst, like her brain had blown a gasket. And, well, everybody who loved me when I died, everybody who loved me came back to my house in Berkeley. And it was freezing cold, and it rained, and everybody wept, and nobody slept. Everybody wept except for me, said Calliope, you see. But when I died, I was ready for it. I wanted to die. Life felt like it was killing me most of the time. And it's so hard to live in a world where you never feel like you get a chance to breathe. But even despite all that, well, I've been thinking, and well, it still seems to me, see, the thing is, well, I was raised from the moment I was born to believe in perfection, to believe that if you weren't number one, perfect, there was no point in doing anything. But it's starting to feel to me like some kind of hustle. I mean, for real, almost as if, well, it seems to me now that I think about it, well, now, while we're waiting every day for a perfect hope, a perfect change. We're getting sold on the river when the real thing is right here. I mean, while we're waiting for a perfect hope, perfect change, the real thing is staring us in the face every time that we breathe. And now, well, I know most people are scared of dying, but I'm telling you, you've been rehearsing for it every time that you sleep, and it might make you lonely, and it might make you lost. Believe me, it's no reason not to believe, because it seems to me, but the more that I think about it, I don't know if I'm ever gonna get away from the glass bubble of shattering soul perfection that stained my whole life. But the more that I think about it, it still seems, well, I mean, if being perfect is the point, there would have been no point in being me. But I lived and I died, and it meant something, even if I spent my whole life struggling to breathe. And now, maybe the heart of the world, she's just like me. I mean, maybe it's the loneliness, the heartbreak that finally sets her free. I mean, well, maybe everything in this world that seems upright is upright down. Maybe the story, well, maybe everything that's upside down is upright. Maybe the story's not about death, life, and life. Maybe it's about joy. Maybe it's about joy in the worst of it. Maybe it's about joy even in the parts where you're falling apart. I mean, maybe it's about joy even in our most intense moments of grief. Maybe that grief is just joy waiting for us to believe that there is joy even in the dying. I mean, even in a world where the dead will never see the end of war. I mean, maybe there's joy in the homage and the feeling of heartbreak, the feeling of loss, and the feeling of waking up knowing that the people who can give us back our souls are no longer here. Maybe there's joy in the fear. Maybe there's joy in that moment. Maybe it's about joy, even in our most intense moments of belief. I mean, maybe grief is joy, waiting for us to believe in joy in the dying, joy in the heartbreak, joy even in a world where nothing is ever gonna work right. I mean, maybe it's about joy, even in our most intense moments, even when you can't breathe.